Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's your boy Scrib, and today we are continuing our character analysis for the Bleach anime. And today we are doing the former captain of Squad 5, Sosuke Aizen. Now, before we get into that, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, as well as give this video a thumbs up, because it does help the channel out a lot, as well as that notification bell, so that when I drop content just like this every week, you guys will be the first to know. So now, who exactly is Sosuke Aizen? Well, there's a lot that we do know about him, but then there's a lot that we don't. So let's get right on into it and break it down. Now, the thing is about Aizen, with what it is that we do know about him, is that he is basically a tyrant. Now, what I mean by that is, throughout the entire course of the manga and the anime that he has been featured in, we do see exactly how his personality is. Now, when we first meet him, it is in the anime as well as the manga. I believe in the manga it's chapter 81, but in the anime I believe it's episode 24. Now, if I am mistaken about that, please feel free to correct me in the comments. But of course, this is during the Soul Society arc, when Ichigo as well as everybody else are basically trying to rescue Rukia from her execution. So we see all the captains lined up in said captains meeting, where Gin Ichimaru is basically getting scolded by Old Man Yama because he actually had let Ichigo survive. And so at the end of the meeting, we see that Aizen is basically in, I guess you could say, like a small confrontation with Gin, but he has a very soft-spoken persona about him. And so we believe that he is one of the good guys, right? Now, what we also learn is that throughout the course of the years, his lieutenant Momo Hiyomori, he basically groomed her to follow his every footstep, to basically be his latchdog. And what I mean by that is he groomed her to not be able to live without him. Now, we learn that he actually is the overall enemy, because he wound up faking his death. Momo wound up getting so sporadic about it that she basically drew her sword against her fellow lieutenants. And so it was basically set up as if Gin was the one that did it. But we learn towards the end of the Soul Society arc that Aizen basically faked his death. And how we learned that he faked his death was because Momo, as well as Gin's lieutenant Izuru Kira, were basically put in jail because a Soul Reaper is not supposed to draw their sword against another Soul Reaper. So they were placed in jail. Gin wound up freeing Izuru, just because that's his lieutenant, but then also wound up freeing Momo. And so Gin brings Momo to Central 46, which is the overall hierarchy of the Soul Society. Come to find out, Aizen was still alive. He faked his death, and we all thought that he faked his death because he knew that something was going on. And he was just trying to get to the bottom of it. Well, come to find out that he was behind everything. He winds up apologizing to Momo, saying that, hey, look, I had to fake my death. There's something that's going on and whatnot. And so I'm sorry that I had to do this. And so he embraced Momo. And as he hugged her, his final words to her was goodbye. And then impaled her with his Zanpakuto. After that, now Captain Toshiro Hitsugaya and his lieutenant Rangiku Matsumoto, Toshiro kind of assumed that something was going on, and so he got Rangiku, his lieutenant, to go head towards Central 46. Retsu Unohana, the former captain of Squad 4, when she was doing the autopsy on Aizen's dead body, she realized that something was up as well. So she got her lieutenant Isane to go with her to Central 46. And so I do believe that that Aizen laid the breadcrumbs out so that somebody can find him and figure out what was going on. Now, why he did that, I have no idea. But when Toshiro wound up getting to Central 46 and seeing that Gin this entire time was working with Aizen, and saw that Momo was basically laying in a pool of blood, Toshiro wound up just going bonkers. Now, Momo is actually Toshiro's older sister, but not by blood. They basically grew up together in the Rokangai district, and so they did look at each other as siblings. Momo wound up going into the Soul Reaper Academy a little before Toshiro decided to go. And so, Toshiro being, the younger brother, he was devastated at the fact that his sister was laying in a pool of blood. Now, what really threw me off was that Aizen blatantly looked at Toshiro and was like, oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I should have cut her up into smaller pieces and hid her where nobody can find her. So, we then begin to learn and understand more about his Zanpakuto, Kyoko Suigetsu, which its ability is complete hypnosis. Now, once he releases his Shikai, then that's it. Like like all 5 of your senses is basically within that complete hypnosis. And so there's a way you can get out of its ability, but we'll get into that later down the line. So Aizen's entire plan this entire time was to collect a small orb known as the Hogyoku, or I guess you could say unpredictable wish ball, as it would scientifically be named. And if you watch Bleach Bridge, you got that reference. And so Kisuke Uehara, the former captain of Squad 12, created the Hogyoku as a means to basically bring a balance to Hollows as well as Soul Reapers, but it was incomplete. Aizen knew about it, wanted the Hogyoku for himself as well as his power, but because Kisuke's was incomplete, Aizen basically wanted to create his own, but he needed Kisuke's in order to do so. So what Kisuke did was he hid it in Rukia's Gigai, hoping that it would have merged with her soul. And so that's why, the events of Bleach, played out the way that it did in the Substitute Shinigami arc. So all the captains realized that Aizen was behind all of this. So of course Soifon, as well as what's the baby name? Yoruichi, I'm sorry, like I drew a blank right there. They stopped fighting, came to, basically stop Aizen, see what was going on. Everybody stopped fighting each other, and showed up on the Sogyoku Hill. And so we also then learned that not only was Gin working with Aizen, but Captain Kaname Tosen as well. And so this is where we get to the end of the Soul Reaper arc, actually, I'm sorry, I take that back. Not the Soul Reaper arc, the Soul Society arc, where Aizen basically revealed his plan to where he basically wanted to stand above all. And we then learn about a being known as the Soul King. And so Aizen wanted to basically take the place of the Soul King. Now, we also learn about different hollows throughout the beginning of the series. And so a portal opens. I don't think it was the Gargantua. I think it's pronounced, the name of it is something else, to where you see a lot of Gillian hollows basically, seeping through. And so Captain Ukitake had asked Aizen, why are you doing this? Like what reason do you have? And, now just to paraphrase, Aizen did say that neither you nor me has ever risen to the top, nor have we stood above all or above anybody. And that's what my plan is. And so basically he was saying that I plan on becoming the new god, the new Soul King. So that right there was the end of the Soul Reaper arc, or the Soul Society arc, whichever one you want to call it. And so we then learn that, okay, we realize that the overall good guy is the bad guy. So where are we going from here? And it's intriguing. Let's just put it like that. It is very, very intriguing, especially the way that Aizen had us all fooled. So with that being said, there's really a lot that we need to talk about when it comes to serve Sosuke Aizen. I am going to end this video here. I figured that when it comes to Aizen, because there is a lot to talk about, I would break his analysis video into 3 parts, basically explaining his role, when we first meet him, and then his role that he played in the Arrancar arc, as well as the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. So this analysis video will be in 3 parts. This concludes part 1 of my video. And so if there's anything that I missed, please feel free to leave it in the comments and whatnot. That way I can basically, acknowledge it in part 2. And so again, this has been your boy Scriv. For everybody who has come to spend just a little bit of time with me, if this is your first time or you are a returning YouTuber, thank you guys. Remember to hit that like button because it does help the channel out a lot, as well as hit that notification bell so that when I drop content just like this every week, you guys will be the first to know. So this has been your boy Scriv. Meet me here next week for part 2 of Who is Sosuke Aizen, and I'll see you guys next time.